Good evening, SpeedGaming. Welcome to another SpeedGaming live tournament qualifier event. Today, I am here. My name is Tracy, and I'm here with Maniacal. How you doing, Maniacal?
I'm doing great. I'm blown away by this background. We just transitioned to the live scene, and this thing is superb looking. I love it. So I am jazzed about that, and I'm extra jazzed about all these racers that we have tonight for this Super Metroid sort of dash variant rando race. This is going to be fun to be on the watching side.
Yeah, you had put in some pretty good performances last weekend, so now you get to sit back, relax, and figure out who are you gonna be playing. So it's gotta be fun for you.
I hear that Sloters is playing for everybody, and I think I'm going to get bopped from the bracket entirely. I think Sloters is just going to ranch me about 35 times with everyone's accounts, and
we do have some good runners. We have some pretty good runners on the side. We have about 20 runners or so. We have like Asdor in the race. Shiny Zenny's racing this one. Let's see, and like you say, Sloters is racing this one, and Zoe still has to come back and do his qualifiers, and I suspect he'll do those tomorrow. So we got some really good runners overall, but not to take anything away from the runners we have here. We have White Mage Becky in the upper left, Cross Product in the lower left, Scotty in the upper right, Castimone in the lower right. Scotty, Becky, and Cross Product have participated in the old Randomizer League before. Also, all three of them, I believe, were in the tournament 2017. Castimone a little bit newer, so we'll see how he holds up compared to the other three.
Cassidy Moen's also been around for quite a while, just a little bit less of a Super Metroid mainstay.
Exactly.
But I think also did at least one of the randomizer tournaments. I don't know if it was a league or what. They all kind of blur together at this point.
Yeah, absolutely.
4 really good runners on stream tonight, in addition to a whole stable of additional runners that are fighting to get first in this. So.
Yep.
You pointed out.
Yeah, go ahead.
You pointed out that I'd done all my qualifiers, which is how I've ended up here in the commentary bracket in the booth, which I'm happy about. Now I just get to kind of sit back and see, how many people pass me. Basically, is what it's coming down to.
Yep.
There are a few of us that did all 3 of ours last week. You're allowed up to 3 of the 6 qualifiers, and then there's a scoring metric to see who the top performers will be who end up making it into the bracket. So we can maybe get into a little bit more of that.
Yeah, and right now we should at least talk about a little bit what the randomizer saying. So this is the Dash randomizer, kind of more based off of totals randomizer than the Varia randomizer that's often used in the Randomizer League. It is not the full-on dash. So you're not going to see Spazer Beam is not going to break any blocks. The bombs are not going to break speed blocks. Nothing like that. We do have the starter charge beam, which is set at 34%, mainly because we wanted 1/3, but apparently we couldn't figure out how to do 1/3, so we had to settle at 34%. So essentially, the charge beam has the same power as a regular beam. And we also have the gravity suit that, for environmental damage, does take half off. So, and if you do a hell run with gravity suit, it will be a much cozier hell run. I mean, it's by no means will be free. But it will be easier. The energy will not tick off quite as quickly. So you might see some various skips from the better runners, or depending on how many E-tanks there are available. We do see Scotty doing meme route, so he's getting some missiles over there, and it looks like Cassidy also doing that. Whereas Becky and Cross Product are just going to do the more traditional climb. We have all our different minor items, so that's always a good thing to not have to worry about.
Yeah, E-Tank Super's Power Bombs is sort of a perfect 3-item opening set for deciding to go left from Morph Ball, which is what we see a couple runners do. There are a couple advantages and a couple disadvantages to this. It's really a close call. Ultimately, can work out a little faster, but you do really risk isolating Waterway in the case of early speed booster showing up. So we're going to probably see those runners most likely commit to early wrecked ship plays. Yep. That's sort of the way to make it work out faster, but we'll see what they actually choose to do.
And we do have bombs at Bomb Chorizo, so we do get the, well, it's not quite a Videl Bomb Chorizo fight, because 2 super missiles and he'll be done, but
Yeah, 2 super is a little bit slower than 2 missiles and 1
That's
super
right.
just because of cutscene management, but still fast enough. Bomb Chorizo dies quite quickly. And here we have Wave Gate and a
The
gravity
gravity
suit.
suit, nice.
That's a big game.
Yeah, and actually, to your point of doing wreck ship early, that gravity suit just makes wreck ship so much easier. It's so much safer because low energy, because you got that minus that quarter of damage for the Fantoon fight in particular. The movement in the water areas. Scotty going through and farming up some power bombs. Good that he knows to get them right here. Those fire fleas pretty much are going to drop power bombs.
Yeah, they're 99-point-something% drops or whatever.
Yep.
It's something out of 256. And he's going to go down to Edikuns, but it looks like he skipped on the Wave Gate location, so missing that gravity suit.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
We're going to hope he goes back for it. If
Yeah,
he finds Speed Booster here, that might send him back. Yo!
You called it!
Called it.
We have a grapple beam at Terminator. That's interesting. And we'll see if Cassidy goes back for his... We'll see if either one goes back for Waterway and Wavegate. Scotty hopefully goes back because he needs to get that gravity suit. Suitless Meridia. In logic, but not full on. So, he'd have to make a decision at that point. Cassidy, on the other hand, would just be orphaning the Waterway. And this is to your point earlier, that is one of the risks of doing that early so-called meme route. I don't really like that term, to be honest. It's a perfectly valid route, but yeah, to do that, go left at the beginning, missing that speed booster and having to go back to Waterway potentially.
Yeah, we'll see how this ends up getting routed. Because it's kind of tough. Because it's pushing you to turn back around, but then you're stranding Gauntlet, you're stranding Terminator. This is sort of one of those cases where that route, the so-called meme route, which I again think is, it's just a fine route. It's a riskier route. You can ending up in really bad ammo situations and just generally getting priced into an early wreck ship, which sometimes can be a little rough. But other than that, it's fine.
Okay, so far Cassie not going back for Waterway. So far, okay, now Becky's going to get her speed booster. And let's see what Scotty does. Nope, Scotty is just not going to go back for that stuff. Okay. That's going to be very unfortunate for Scotty.
Yeah, I don't think that Cassidy not going back is necessarily a wrong call. Scotty with 2 items down, doesn't have anything that necessarily puts the wave gate in logic. I think that requires high jump logically.
I think that was removed.
Oh, okay.
So he should be able to do it. Yeah, the
or wave, of course, but
yeah, of course.
It's definitely one of those tricks that runners consider pretty standard.
Yeah, gets his grapple beam. So yeah, it could be a while. This is really bad for Scotty because of the gravity suit. We're gonna find out how bad it is for Cassidy in terms of. It could just be an E-tank at Waterway, and Cassidy just will never notice that he's missing it. There's lots of E-tanks available.
Yeah, it's. We'll see what's at Waterway soon enough. Becky is coming in that way, and as is Cross. So our runners who've decided to go the more conventional route are closing in on that location with Speed Booster now. But yeah, for anyone coming in and not familiar with what's going on, we're seeing a Super Metroid Randomizer race for the SpeedGaming Live tournament. This is a qualifier race. Nice wave gate there from Becky using the normalized setup. Nice wall jumps too, using the bad failing wall jump setup.
And Becky gets her gravity suit.
Yeah, and it looked like from the screen shake that Cross got it as well.
Yep, he's got it. And the nice thing about getting the gravity suit first is that it just makes the Waterway that much easier to do. You don't have to set up a Shine Spark. You just run straight through. They've got plenty of health. For those of you that watched I think it was the 3rd qualifier last week where there was something, was it Varia or Gravity at Waterway? It was something good at Waterway. And runners had to do it with 0 tanks. which is extremely dangerous because if you have you will want to have at least something like 80 health to do a Shine Spark there, and if you stop that Shine Spark in a bad spot, you will die because those enemies are Viridian enemies and they hit hard.
Yeah, I definitely spent some time farming the Zebs in that come out of the pipe and getting bad drops and being like, I'm just gonna find an E-tank right down here at Charge Beam and I'm gonna be so angry about it. But then it worked out real well, so we'll take it. But
Okay,
Waterway with the E-tank.
Yeah, so Cassie's not gonna miss that. So no worries there. We are gonna see a gauntlet check from Scotty, probably hoping to get something better for Wreck Ship.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think of what would be real good here. I mean, obviously, Varia would be sweet, but that's
not going to be
tank. So
and Varia can't be there anyway because it can't be in criteria.
Exactly.
I don't know. I might have kept that for Scotty. I probably would have kept that E-tank just for the extra safety if I'm going to Wreck Ship. Anybody else with that gravity suit, I'm probably not too worried about it. Like 3 tanks in gravity suit should be plenty.
If I don't have Varia yet, I'm keeping all the tanks early.
Yeah,
that one's pretty slow, but skipping Varia is very, very tenable because of the 50% heat reduction of gravity
absolutely.
that this randomizer has built in. And so skipping Varia, very reasonable. Would like to see runners take their tanks.
Okay, so let's see. Cassie taking a refill at the ship. He's going to check the gauntlet as well. Try and do wall jumps, but yeah. So the problem here is he doesn't have high jump boots. So if you're going to speed booster up there, you actually have to do a vertical Shine Spark to make this a little bit easier. Or you just do wall jumps, which is what he ends up doing.
Yeah, we see Scotty is going back down Red Tower rather than indirect ship. Very interesting, and this could be a way to get that gravity suit, so we'll cross our fingers for him. Meanwhile, we see Becky going up Red Tower with the gravity suit, not even checking X-Ray. This is a very interesting call, and it could be a conservative play based on the qualifiers. So I know that Becky, she went up Red Tower in her first qualifier and basically said, I didn't think Kip would have done this, or no, she went down Red Tower thinking that Kip would have gone up, is what happened. And Kip also went down, and she was big on meta playing, basically, and it didn't work out that race. But she's definitely very, very cognizant of the meaning of this decision in the context.
Yep. Crossfrog, meanwhile, picks up a Spazer beam at X-Ray, which is, a nice beam. The runners would prefer to have plasma. But, for now, Spazers, when you don't have any other beams, it's nice to have at least a little bit of extra firepower.
Yeah, Scotty's going for Waterway, so going to get that E-tank. Hasn't yet gone for Wavegate.
Well, hopefully he goes back after this. But yeah, you're going to see a slightly different play here from him. He's going to have to charge a Shine Spark. It's best to do this with a short charge, although ironically enough, the length there is exactly enough to do a non-short charge. And skipping the E-tank, okay, yeah, I'm with you. No variant, I'm grabbing those E-tanks.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say that's a bad call by Scotty. Scotty, what you doing, man? You want that E-tank?
I mean, don't forget. We talk about doing like lower Norfair with the gravity only, but I mean, hell runs are in logic. Hell runs to lower Norfair are still not in logic despite the gravity suit protection. But hell runs throughout the upper Norfair all in logic. So it requires 4 E-tanks, I believe, is the number. But
all right, this is what we wanted to see right here. We wanted to see Scotty go into this room and
get his gravity suit.
He's got 21 supers. And he knows the normalized setup, so he'll get this pretty quickly. Nice.
Yeah, I think he got it right there.
So what the runners are doing there is they're abusing the fact that Samus's position changes by 1 pixel in X on a turnaround animation to basically set up a pixel perfect X pixel to fire that super so that it'll hit the wave gate from the other side.
All right. Meanwhile, Becky in her Fantood fight, and we're about to see Kraid from Cross Product.
Yeah, we got a couple early bosses. We'll see how this works out. I'm kind of a fan of this call by Becky and Cassidy to go early wreck ship, just because the ceiling on how much time you lose in these qualifiers if you go wrecked ship and you're wrong with a good loadout, is smaller than what happens if you go to Norfair and you're wrong. And nice Fantoon kill by Becky there.
Yeah, and hell runs, you think of them as fast because you're hell run, et cetera, but really they're not, because you're constantly having to farm or crystal flash or do something, and the ammo here is not great for crystal flashing. Not all the runners even have 15 power bombs, so just going and doing this wreck ship play, especially with that gravity suit. I mean, Fantoon, you got four, like Becky's got 4 E-tanks and gravity suit. That's a super safe Fantoon fight.
Yeah, and Cassidy was balling out there a little bit with the stutter short charge entry to Fantoon. Unfortunately, having a little bit of trouble getting the mock ball out of it, but nice short charging there from Cassidy on the Fantoon entry. And Scotty's going to see his Spazer, and he's going to take it. He wants the Spazer. He didn't want the E-tank. He wants the Spazer.
Yeah, I mean, I would take the Spazer. I would only turn down the Spazer if I already have Plasma Beam. Like, it's a useful beam. It definitely upgrades you. Right, or if I had, I guess if I had Wave Beam and the Spazer's super far out of the way, I might skip it. But X-Ray is not that super far out of the way.
How did you not pivot and talk about what was at the crate E-tank, Tracy?
Because I looked away and took a drink for a second. Was it a space jump? Because that's what I'm seeing in chat.
It was definitely a space jump. So what's that going to do for our runners here?
Well, it's going to make hell runs a lot easier. It also will make, they might send him up to, you might see a Meridia play at this point with gravity, space jump, speed booster. Actually, it's a pretty quick play. Not sure I would full clear it, Plasma and Shacktool being super far out of the way, but it just makes their movement easier. No high jump yet, but space jump will alleviate a lot of that.
Yeah, and we're seeing Cross Product go in immediately on those hell runs with that space jump and with those 5 E-tanks. So Cross is going to definitely benefit from having grabbed all those extra E-tanks, and we see him just finding a 6-1. That's a free refill, and that means less time between crystal flashes that he can't yet do, actually, because he only has 2 power bomb packs.
Yep, and Becky picking up a Plasma Beam with the wreck ship E-tank, so she's not going to pick up the Spazer Beam. But the interesting thing about that location for Plasma is, depending on where your suit is, a lot of the runners may not be getting that because, ideally, you want to route wreck ship. If you're not going to go wreck ship at the beginning, you want to route it last. You have Fantoon be the very last thing you do, in which case you're not doing any of the checks.
Yeah, I think it was the second qualifier that wreck ship was speed booster and screw attack and no suits. Wow. And so, it was convenience items, and it was nice to have them, and they helped for lower Norfair, but the suits were elsewhere.
Yep.
The suits were in another castle entirely, and so it didn't ultimately save enough time. Nice ceiling clip there from Becky. But you do want a little bit more than Plasma Beam, and so far just an E-tank and Plasma.
Yeah, and keep in mind that even though we do have that starter charge beam, so the microwave will still work, but it'll be just a lot slower if we get an X-ray. But it's still, so a 40-shot fight becomes essentially a 120-shot fight for Mother Brain if you have the starter charge beam and just Plasma. But I will point out, that's one of the interesting parts about this extra charge beam, is it does make Plasma Beam, I think, more valuable to pick up in general. Just because you do get some fire. Oh, and there's a Varia suit.
All right, so this could be the first qualifier dream. Although it can't be because they already had speed. But this is going to be a great position for Becky.
Absolutely.
So first qualifier was speed at gravity to turn around and go get your various suit at the reserve. It was like the most punishing thing, scouting Varia there and then getting immediately bailed out for your bad decision.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, Becky is just gonna haul. Speed booster, she'll have space jump when she gets through Kraid's Lair. Plasma, gravity, Varia, 5 tanks. This is going to be a fast one from Becky.
Yeah, she might just call this go mode at this point, just because, she's a good enough player that these items are going to be enough for her to beat the game if she so desires. She's got enough ammo for Mother Brain 1. With that starter charge beam, it just means, like I said, 120-shot fight instead of a 40-shot fight. I might be off by 1 because that 34%, but it's still pretty darn doable from a runner of her caliber.
Yeah, and this is also Becky's third qualifier, so this is her last go at it. She already has one good score of a 97.56 banked, and so she's going to be looking to get one more good one down and lock up a good qualifying position. If she wins this race, she'll absolutely do that.
Okay. Meanwhile, we have Crossproduct doing hell runs, and we haven't quite seen all. I don't think he's done the left side yet, but let's see what we've got here over at the Speed Booster location. Scotty going into Meridia, which is one of the things I suggest. Unfortunately, it's not a whole lot that can be. I mean, there could be beams in Meridia, which would be nice. High jump could be here. You know, spring ball, always everybody's favorite item. So there are things that could be here, but not going to find his suits. And, it's not going to be spring ball because there's Becky picking up that spring ball.
Wow, that was a nice wreck ship. E-tank.
There we go. At least, okay, high jump boots. So Scotty at least gets some high jump boots. I don't think Becky's getting those. She won't be checking Mama Turtle by the time she gets there. She'll be, she's not getting those.
Becky, unfortunately, not going to baby skip today. Nope.
Which is okay. You know, I'll trade not being able to baby skip to be able to avoid some of the some locations. I think you lose more time picking up that. If you're specifically picking those up for baby skip, you're losing time at that location.
Yeah, at that location. I mean, they're good for movement elsewhere. If she knew that high jump boots were at that location, she would grab them.
Yeah, absolutely. But there's gonna be too many. Yeah, there are gonna be too many places otherwise.
Yeah, Cross, meanwhile, has enough E-tanks and has one crystal flash. We might not see him get Variasuit. This could be a very interesting development.
Yeah, absolutely. The ammo situation isn't great because here's the real problem isn't so much the crystal flashes, it's the Ridley fight. So you'd like to have enough supers so you can get through the Ridley fight and still crystal flash afterward. 25 supers, that's not enough. And the Spazer with the starter charge is like a Spazer normally would be 150 shots on Ridley. So yeah, you're talking a lot of shots. So this ammo count, I don't know if I see it, but we'll see. He might surprise us.
I expect we're going to see a Croc Slayer into Lower Norfair commit from Cross Product, and I think that's the right play in his situation.
More interesting, Becky decides to go into Meridia.
Huh. And
that surprises me.
Yeah. We have some folks in chat, namely Sephi, who should really just be running in this and not on the sidelines. Says that he saw this coming. I'm a little curious about that one.
Maybe she's looking for a worst room in the game item, but she hasn't killed Kraid yet even, so missing out on that space gem. Could use the spring ball for worst room in the game.
And Scotty, I don't know if that down grab was clean enough, but he's going for it. No, he wasn't even going for it. He was just saying, I'm going to space jump anyway.
Yeah, with the space jump, you're not losing nearly as much time if you miss those halfies and full halfies.
Yeah, with space jump, halfie is basically a wash. Yeah. And we see Cross Product is headed into Lower Norfair, so he just wanted to farm up, and he's going for it.
Awesome.
He's saying my ammo's good. This could turn into a real nightmarish situation, but it could also work out. We're just going to get to sit back and watch Cross Product for a few minutes.
Yeah, I'm concerned with there's only 25 super missiles. Like the Ridley fight, 30 super missiles. If you have enough supers, you can fire off those 30 and still have enough for Crystal Flash, or even just so you have enough to be able to easily farm. Yeah, you're pretty good, but this is going to be dangerous. A lot of people. I said earlier that the gravity suit will protect you here, but it's by no means free. So this is definitely not a free Lower Norfair run here.
Oh gosh, no. Yeah, this is one of the big things about Dash, that it invites you to try to go fast. It looks at you and says, here's the tools, go fast if you can. And a lot of people take that invitation and get really punished by it. So I hope that doesn't happen to Cross here.
I hope
but
not,
it won't be the first time, and it won't be the last time if we see it happen.
Yeah, and in fact, I think that's the gravity suit doing half heat protection is probably my favorite aspect that we put into the dash randomizer in the first place. I really like that change. The idea when the original total randomizer came out, the idea was if we have gravity suit protects against heat damage, it's just way too overpowered, and I completely 100% agree with that. But it's nice to give it a little bit of functionality to make it just a little more viable to go with just the gravity suit, and we're seeing that here from cross product.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised. It might have been Crystal Flash management motivated to skip. Oh wow, he's going down. He's not going to Fire Fleas first. That's a weird call.
No,
he caught Matter of it. Okay.
I think he's just waiting to do a Crystal Flash here.
Yeah, just the decision to not go and check the Mickey Mouse ammo spot to see what he would get there was a little surprising. So here he's going to blow up the Namahe. Oh, and he gets knocked off his spot, but he'll be okay. He'll get his Crystal Flash here.
All right, White Mage Vicky finishing up Dragon. I do believe that we have a screw attack there because Scotty's sitting there with that screw attack. And Scotty again check the left sand pit here.
Yeah, we've got runners all over the map at this point.
Yep, there it is. Screw attack behind Dragon. So that'll make Lower Norfair like super easy. And we do see an X-ray scope on the left sand pit. So nothing that the runners need at this. Like Scotty at this point, all the bosses that use X-ray are down except for Fantoon. He doesn't know it, but he's not going to have a plasma beam for Fantoon, so not going to be of any use.
This is going to be really tough for Cross. He's committing. He's saving in here.
Yeah.
This is a rocky spot. He will be able to farm full ammo and full health though because of this grapple beam. This grapple beam might be the most important non-gravity suit item that Cross Product has right now.
Yeah, the grapple beam for Lower Norfair hell runs is so good. Like it makes your farming so much easier. And just changes everything for that. So he might be able to survive this with that, but it's still going to be tight. It's going to be tough.
He'll be able to get back to full health. Because the rate at which your health drains is so much lower, the farming with grapple is so much more valuable in this format.
Yes, absolutely. And in fact, he wanted a super missile there. Unfortunately, gets a power bomb. But yeah, you're absolutely right. If you do the grapple beam optimally in a regular situation, you're going to gain energy, but you're going to gain energy slowly. So in this situation where you're losing energy a lot slower, it is going to allow him to farm up pretty well.
Yeah, and Power Bomb's not all that bad. That does give him a pre-Crystal Flash and a post-Crystal Flash without having to farm the Violas. So that could be very good for him.
Yeah, absolutely.
For this Ridley fight. I think that it makes it not a huge amount more manageable, but it does make a differential difference, which is why I kind of wanted to see him check some of those ammo on the Lower Norfair Escape and also the Mickey Mouse room. Yeah,
those would be useful, potentially. Okay, Becky sees that X-ray scope, doesn't want it. Let's see if she goes over to Courage. Yeah. So I think she's looking for a worst room in the game item. I don't think maybe she's not comfortable with the spring ball jump. She does not have that space jump yet, having not gone to Kraid. So she's chose not to declare herself in coma. Unfortunately, she skipped Mama Turtle and didn't get those high jump boots. That would also get her through worst room in the game.
Yeah, so we see Cross Product on his Zebo farm here. He's aiming left and right because Cross Product does not bind an angle down button on his control scheme. He chooses instead to use his L button for his dash on his control scheme. So he has a pretty rough RBO style farm, but again, that gravity heat protection is going to make a big difference here. Okay, Cassidy picks up his space jump. And meanwhile, Scotty is still in Norfair, has not gone up to the wreck ship. Maybe he's going to do the Lower Norfair play too. Nah, he's going to at least do the hell runs up in Upper Norfair here first, I suspect. His ammo will be a little bit better because I don't know. His ammo isn't that much better than actually. It's worse because he only got 10 missiles. We'll see what he decides to do. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Scotty definitely has sort of the most open options because of the strange early game situation and taking that left route out of Retro Brinstar, missing on Gravity Suit, and then going back down Red Tower and finding it rather than going in direct ship. It kind of points in a weird way as Kraid is going to reveal his lower half here.
Yep, I think we got, we got one not quick wheel. So Becky will just have to clean this up. This won't take her long. There we go.
Nice second super there on that. And Cross he's doing something. He's resetting the room, I think, to get more power bombs here. His health is not in a great spot, but it's okay enough.
Mm-hmm.
I like this 3 Zebo farm. It's the same way he's entered the room previously. I think that's probably from his RBO. But I like the strat. But we see just, even if you can go into Lower Norfair, if you have enough tanks and stuff, every little bit of resource you have additionally just speeds that stuff up. Makes
Absolutely.
it that much nicer. That's why I kind of wanted to see him go to Crocslayer. And he's going to damage himself down, set up for a Crystal Flash here. I like the call. It is going to take him a little longer than normal to get down because of the reduced drain rate. Becky gets her space jump.
Yeah,
and
now she's in go mode.
Setting up for a Lava Spark? Yo, let's see. Can we get it? Yo,
Nice.
Cassidy, nice.
And somewhere along the way, Becky picked up a wave beam that I didn't see. Actually, Scotty has it too, so it must have been Meridia. Was that the Botswoon item?
Wave beam?
Yeah.
Was it Botswoon?
Ah, gotcha. And there we go. And we should shout out Cheaty Face, our wonderful tracker, the best tracker in the business, keeping us up to date, doing the hard work, pushing those buttons.
Let's not make his head too big, though. He is, in fact, the only tracker in the business right now. So, yeah, Cheaty's great.
And those runners are not correct, so we'll see if I can get that, if we can get someone to fix that. See, Scotty W is not running in this race, for instance. That is a different Scotty.
Yeah, we have a lot of Scotties.
Indeed, we do.
We have riches of Scotties. Cross is using some of those supers. His health is good. He's going to use some of those charged Spazer shots. How much is this? This is like next to nothing on Ridley. He's probably going to want to use some power bombs or something.
Yeah, this like I said, Spazer normally would be 150 shots with the charge beam. Spazer with the baby charge, yeah, 450.
Oh, and that Ridley came down and suplexed Cross product there a little bit. Not behaving well. Cross needs to get out of this acid. All right, I think Cross might have Ridley in a good manipulation now for the power bombs. But yeah, I see chat pointing it out. The baby charge beam does do that reduced damage of about 1/3 of the normal charge of whatever beam. So it's kind of like just normal beam damage. So Spazer would deal about 60. But the special beam attacks deal full damage. So
yes,
Spazer SBA would be an option here.
Would be an option. Not the greatest option, but not a bad one. Obviously, ideally, if you're going to do a special beam attack, the one that's used the most is, of course, the wave beam one, the X Factors. You'll see in low percent ice, you'll see a lot of the... and Scotty takes it... it's not Scotty. Cross probably takes a death.
They're all Scotty.
Yeah, they're all Scotty now.
Bottom left Scotty takes a death.
So what he's got is save. He's still not in great shape there, but we'll see. We'll see what he does.
Yeah, I mean, okay, he's gonna go up and look for resources. I like this call.
Yeah, I think that's a good call.
And yeah, he's like, heck it, I'm just gonna tank the Key Hunters and Red Key Hunter Shaft, doesn't matter. And I think that's definitely the right call.
Okay, in the meantime, we got Becky showing that worst from the game kind of really isn't when you have space jump and screw attack. Still did not pick up those high jumps, unfortunately, but as everything else.
Yeah, we're gonna see these runners have an easier go of things. The ones who went direct ship for Becky and Cassidy, whereas Scotty is on the cross product plan here.
Yeah,
but with a little bit nicer of a loadout.
He's got more supers. He's got fewer missiles. Now the missiles are hard to farm down here, so he's gonna want to not use those. Ideally, he's gonna want a crystal flash, fill up his supers, quickly kill Ridley with those supers, come back out and farm quickly to crystal flash again. We still don't know what's behind Ridley. Maybe it's an E-tank, so that would be a welcome sight for a cross product and Scotty if they get through this fight.
Yeah, the more I'm watching on cross product side, the more I really wanted to see him go to Crocslayer and dig out those 2 majors and those additional minors that are there. I think that could have been a big game changer here.
Yeah, even if there were just 2 E-tanks and a little bit of a couple extra supers, that would make a huge difference here.
Yeah, here's Becky losing more time than the X-ray scope that she passed on in that sand pit.
Yeah, could have just used supers though.
Yeah, I'm just giving Becky a hard time.
Yeah.
Becky's gonna, finish this race up, get a great time, and then going to end up seeding higher than me, and is going to get the last laugh.
Good opener with those supers. Now, normally with Wave Plasma, this would be a 24-shot fight with a charge beam, so we'll call it a 72-shot fight if she were to go that direction. And just gonna finish off with some missiles. Probably missed a super or 2 there.
And Ridley was dead, but was not out of an animation where he was willing to die. So
yeah, that happens sometimes. Ridley's weird that way.
And pretty nice Ridley drops, and Cassidy also threw the Ridley fight and just Ice Beam behind, so that's going to be rough when our Variolous runners get there, depending.
Yeah, and that's not going to help them much.
That's going to be
really nice find for Becky and Cassidy, though.
Yeah, Ice Wave Plasma for Torian. Now, both Becky and Cassidy did have enough power bombs that they would have been fine without finding Ice Beam in terms of being able to kill the Metroids without risk of having to refill, but definitely something that helps.
Also, this basically turns the Mother Brain fight into a new route of Mother Brain, because that'll be 60 shots, which is the same as if you have Charge Ice Wave Spazer. So should be a pretty easy fight for the runners. And they can supplement with whatever extra ammo they have when they get there.
Yeah, and we see Cross has elected to just leave Lower Norfair, decided that he went in on it a little ambitiously, and is going to go into Meridia and look for resources here instead.
Yeah, so a question in chat about what the qualifying positions are based on. It is kind of based on completion times, but every seed is different, so we can't just take the times. Basically, if you're familiar with what some of the other randomizer tournaments do, I know Link to the Past does this. We take an average of the top times. In our case, it depends on how many runners are in the race, and that's set as 100, and then everybody else gets a time based off of that average time, so that so everything is fair, and it doesn't matter that if you have one seed that maybe is a really quick jet seed, or another seed that has like gravity suit in sand pit or something like that, which is a thing that can happen in the Dash Rando. So
yeah, so this race is large enough that the top 4 runners' times are going to be used to set that pace time. So basically, scores are going to be renormalized to have 100 be the total number of seconds it takes the average of the top 4 runners. And then runners can score up to 105.
Yeah.
And that's how the seeds are being normalized. So it's about aggregate performance and individual performance across seeds. And then runners' top 2 scores out of up to 3 qualifiers they play are going to be what are used to seed them.
Okay, cross product now in Meridia. Scotty's still trying Lower Norfair. It looks like he did get through the Ridley fight, so good for him. And that extra, you say that extra super missile pack does make a difference. He's not out of the woods yet, so he's still got to get out of here. And he needs some supers. There's really no place for him to get them, and some missiles as well to do a crystal flash. And he's going to be disappointed to see just a reserve tank here. So this is pretty dicey at this point.
Yeah, he can use these fire fleas for big health, and I think get enough. So he's almost full on power bombs. If he wanted, he could roll the dice with big health with 4 tanks equivalent, basically. You can make it through the rest of this hell run into Bubble Mountain. I think we might see him just go for it.
Yeah, it's going to be close. But with the gravity suit, that should make the difference. If it he's backtracking. Okay.
I guess looking for supers.
Yeah, he's not gonna find supers. Like the drops. Once you get past the wasteland area, there's really not a lot of super drops for these enemies. And he's kind of priced himself into some really bad farming situations. This 63 health is not going to get him through.
Yeah, he can use these power bombs to clear things out. I think these are Funes, actually. He was trying to pseudo-screw that boulder. It unfortunately didn't work. But you can get power bombs from these guys, but then the fire fleas at the bottom of this room will drop big health pretty readily once he gets full.
Okay, now he's got enough missiles, but those 5 supers he's missing, that's going to be hard for him to get. So yeah, his best choice at this point is to farm those fire fleas as best as he can. He's turning off his ice beam to make it a little bit easier. Meanwhile, Becky just, very professionally, just, at 40 minutes is headed to Turian. Almost done. She's looking to put up a really good time.
Yeah, she's lining herself up for a nice sub 50. We had one other seed that was really, really fast as well. And nice speedball there in Parlor for Becky. But yeah, she'll be getting a good time in this seed. Definitely not God routed in a sense. Like I don't know if someone off stream is doing it fast, but this is definitely a fast go at this seed.
Yeah, the only questionable thing I think she did, I think it was a mistake not to do Kraid before Meridia. Like either way, the Kraid is going to take the same amount of time essentially. There was nothing that was going to make her Kraid fight faster at that point, so just do it. And then then if you still don't have that item that you want to use for worst room in the game, she also had bombs and spring balls as a choice, but she wanted something better apparently. Then maybe do Meridia instead of Lower Norfair, but it's going to work out pretty well for her, even having not done that. With this, like I said, I easily could get a sub 50 at this point.
Yeah, and if she finishes with a especially a top time ahead of the 4th place pace, she could be the top seed after this race. So this is going to be big to watch what goes on with Becky's finish, and then also how other runners racing relate to her finish, because of course it's all about relative performance.
Ooh, cross product taking another death in Dragon this time. He's just having all sorts of issues. That's a tough one on him. I applaud him for the risks he took, but yeah, this wasn't, this really just wasn't the seed for the Lower Norfair play. It just, the ammo just wasn't there. It just, I applaud the runners. I bet you some other people. I mean, I'm seeing some other forfeits. I'm not going to call anybody out at this point. I don't like to do that that are off stream, but I can certainly, so I can understand the temptation, with that better gravity suit, but it's a rough one.
Yeah, so Cross does have this is only his 2nd qualifier, and he does have one pretty good score from his first qualifier. He has over a 90 on his first go, and so even if this one doesn't go his way, he'll have the option of completing another qualifier, and could could get an even better score. Could still get an okay score out of this. You know, we don't know what other runners are doing.
Yeah, and to that point, I mean, there's a reason why we dropped the low score. You know, this game, you know, it's kind of interesting because having had experience with the Link to the Past tournament qualifiers, I didn't realize just how much more volatile the SM ones are going to be, because you know, Link to the Past is they kind of went to form. Like the better players pretty much did the better things and got the better times, with exceptions. Here, you know, we've seen some really good players. You know, they just take a bad death somewhere, and you know, there's no the save situation is so much different in SM. If you don't save, you know, you could be starting from the beginning. So it just makes it so much more volatile, and it's been really interesting to see how these seats have played out.
Yeah, the Dash Randomizer really invites runners to push themselves. It's definitely a speedrunner's randomizer in terms of some of the choices it makes. And so it invites, you know, these people who are very good speedrunners to, you know, try and apply that and be very good rando players. And, you know, a lot of folks are. But you see people pushing themselves a little farther than they would often in a typical rando as a result. And so we see a higher death rate in this randomizer, even relative to general Super Metroid randos.
Yeah, I think you're right. Meanwhile, Becky into her brother Brain fight. Like I said, this will be 60 shots of the plasma beam. She'll save 4 shots having those 4 supers there. Will not be able to do stand-up glitch. She only has 6 E-tanks, so no worries about soft locking on any mistakes there.
Yeah, so this is Becky showing off one of the canonical features of the Dash variant randomizer, that starter charge beam, so the runners don't need to hunt out charge beam or ammo. They'll always be able to kill Mother Brain, provided that they can get through Mother Brain 1, Mother Brain 2.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's a lot more like any percent in that regard. They just need that minimum, like 15-10 type ammo.
Yeah, and like I said, this is like I said, 60-shot fight. This is essentially a new route for Becky, and so you know she's got 3 extra E-tanks, and she would have a new route, and a bunch of extra supers, and she'd have. So you know this will be easy for her. But quietly we see Cassidy Moen just needs to go kill Dragon at this point. So he should put up a pretty decent time as well. We see Scotty back in Lower Norfair because he couldn't quite get out, and we see Cross Product also. Going for the low, still low on those supers, and you know, has to get those E-tanks up. So we'll see how long it takes them to get through this.
Yeah, and Becky, of course, not enough E-tanks to go for a stand-up here, but without proper charge, probably not worth it anyway. You know, this is going to be a good time. This is looking at, you know, 49 range, basically.
I'd say about that. And of course, one nice thing about not being able to do stand-up glitch, you can just kind of sit back, you know, type your dot done in the SRL and just relax, wait for that hyper beam to be given to you. Okay, Scotty about to go into the Ridley fight again.
Yeah, we have Scotty and Cross on dueling Variolous Ridley routes here. And
I like that Scotty opened with an X Factor. That'll save some of his supers.
Yeah, that's a really heads-up way to manage the fact that you don't have charge beam, but you do have full SBA damage or special beam attack damage. So that was good for the equivalent to 2 super missiles for that 1 power bomb.
Yeah, and unfortunately with Cross Product, with that death at Dragon, he decided his last save was that one in Lower Norfair, and that's why we see him back here in Lower Norfair instead of going and trying to do the Dragon fight again.
And Scotty jumping into Ridley's claws there. Getting a good death animation. Did use a lot of supers though, so
yeah, he's gonna need to farm up. Got a decent drops. Needs 4 to Crystal Flash.
Yeah, he'll make it back to the Zebos. He'll get his supers and he'll be good for this escape. I think.
Yeah, I think
through
this
the
will
worst.
work for him. Yeah, I think this one will work for him. If he's smart, he'll farm up to full health and as many supers as he can, so he can get himself an extra Crystal Flash, or just have enough energy so you only need the one. Meanwhile, Becky in the escape. And so far, no one else has finished yet. So this is Becky's race to win if she can just get there.
Yeah, if she wins it by enough, she'll be the current number 1 seed. So this is I'm particularly interested in how this plays out.
Yeah, I bet you are. Because if I'm not mistaken, aren't you currently number 1 or close to?
Yeah, I edged Kip out just by a little bit. Got lucky, but yeah. Well, I'm gonna get bopped by some folks. It's just a matter of how many. It looks like Becky is on track to bop me on this one. We would need a cluster of folks, and some of the forfeits we've seen eliminate some of the runners who have potential to put up those very fast times.
Yeah, that is true. Yep. Key?
What are you doing, Becky?
Oh.
What is this? Becky doesn't care. Meanwhile, Cross is using his Phaser SBAs. Nice Alcatraz there from Becky.
Right. And Becky going to finish up with an official SRL time of 50:29. But because of that animal save, Sloters managed to finish in first place with a 50:20, just barely bopping her.
Yeah.
So GG's to both White Mage Becky and to Sloters. I think they're both pretty safe, at least getting into the tournament at this point. I think it's safe to say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I expect both of them to bop me easily. Sloters definitely has at this point. Sloters is the current owner of the number 1 overall seed. Becky, we're gonna see where she ends up. We need to wait for that 3rd and 4th place finish to come in to figure out what it's gonna look like. But I've got my spreadsheet open, so I'll know once we have those times.
Yeah, and we have Cross Product finishing up Ridley, gonna find this Ice Beam. He's gonna have to book it up there, but again, I think he's kind of out of the woods here if he can just get up there and get himself starting that farm. And let's see if we can get. Let's see. There we go. We'll switch to Cassidy's audio since he's furthest ahead here.
Yeah, Cassidy is, quietly down there.
Yeah.
Bottom right, Scotty having a very good run.
Yeah, I mean, he just, Cassidy just did that early, went to the right, went to the left early, just decided to commit to that, did that wreck ship play. Very nicely done from him. He's just kind of played within himself and is going to put up a pretty decent time for himself. Scotty out of Lower Norfolk just needs to go do Fantoon. He's got plenty of E-tanks. The one worry that happens when you don't have Various Suit, the Rainbow Beam does still take full damage, so it'll be 6 tanks of damage. He's got to make sure to manage that when he gets there. Crossfrag, meanwhile, making his way out of Lower Norfolk. Oh, he's going to do Crystal Flash. Okay, so he's going to be fine. And I do believe we have White Mage Becky joining us. How you doing, Becky?
Yeah, GG, Becky.
Yeah, thank you. That was a pretty straightforward seed.
Well, not for everybody.
Yeah, it was straightforward the way you did it.
Yeah,
As soon
absolutely.
as I saw Grapple, I was like, okay, wreck ship. And then I got speed somewhere, and I was like, well, that's even more wreck ship.
Yep, that speed was
And
at
just like, yeah, everything you needed was, I feel like, in logical order.
Yeah, I do have a question for you. When you went down after the wreck ship and you did Meridia instead of going and killing Kraid, what was the thought process behind that?
There's really nothing that Kraid would have given me that would have helped speed Meridia along, unless it was like X-Ray or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I had enough supers, and I had grapple for Dragon if I needed it.
Okay.
I just felt like having to backtrack those few rooms would have been slower than just going straight through Meridia.
Okay, yeah, I thought maybe you'd do, well, with Kraid you would have gotten the space jump a little bit earlier, but I thought maybe you would just do the traditional, let's do lower Norfair and try and end with Meridia, but your route worked out pretty well for you, I'd say.
Yeah, what did Sloters do? Did he do the same thing that I did?
Well, Sloters is not in Restream, so you'll have to ask him.
I was gonna say.
Oh, yeah, that's fair, yeah.
He's in chat, so he can answer in chat if you like. But you'll see the runners on stream. So like Cassidy also went up to wreck ship, but Scotty and Cross they went down, and they both had their issues in lower Norfair without a Varia suit because the ammo just wasn't great for them.
Yeah. I mean, granted, I didn't check a lot of miners, but I was actually kind of worried going into Turian. As I was passing by the ship, I was like, I should really stop and just refill my supers just in case.
Oh, Cross brought it, Cross! No, no, he took too much damage for the key hunters. Oh, that's rough.
Do we have a post Ridley save from Cross?
I don't know. I didn't see. Let's see.
Dang.
Yes, we do.
Okay, good.
I saw that nice X. Yeah, Cross product making Cheaty Face, our tracker, work hard with all the deaths and the resets there.
Alright, well, GG. I'm gonna shower and dinner. Have a good
All right,
night.
Yeah,
Sounds
good
good,
night,
Becky.
Thanks for running.
And GG also to Canadian Owl, who finished in 3rd place off stream with a 52.23, but we're still waiting on a 4th place finish. It might be Cassidy, and
It might be. He's in there. He's got a went for the baby skip, didn't get it. That's okay. It's a hard trick.
Yeah, with it being this deep from 3rd to 4th, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd are all going to get very good scores out of this race. That's going to work out really well. I think that probably is going to, anchor Sloters as the #1 seed pretty securely, and put Becky in at the #2.
Okay, there we go. We've got our 4th place finish. Nevdi finishing in 4th place with a 56.51. It will be interesting to see, find out what different runners did, because I think this really did kind of come down to, if you went wreck ship early, then you were golden, and if you went down, then you had choices to make. Do you commit to that lower Norfair run, or do you do the go back and check other places? And unfortunately for a couple of our runners, the choice was to do the lower Norfair. Scotty's gonna get it. He's still gonna finish. He's on his way. Had even that extra super pack he had, I just think made a huge difference. Cross product, just struggling getting out of this lower Norfair. And like I said, it just goes to show, we didn't make it, so it'd be more viable to do these hell runs with that gravity suit, but they are by no means free. And these hell runs that Cross Product and Sky did, not free. And I would venture to guess that the people that I've seen that have forfeited all tried to do the same thing, and that's why they're not finishing.
Yeah, so I did the math. I have answers on the state of seeding, at least for our first 4. And it looks like Sloters is going to get a nice 104 out of this, and Becky's getting a nice 103.78. So that's going to give them both over a 100 average. And right now, the 1st and 2nd seeds into the bracket. Owl also bringing home over 100 points out of this one.
Okay, Cassie damaging himself down to 3 tanks, so he's fine. Again, only 60 tanks can't do stand-up, so I'm just gonna wait out the cutscene. It'll be more important to pay attention to Scotty here. Making sure he's got to make sure he does not turn that Varia. Well, he doesn't have Varia. He's got to make sure he's got 6 tanks of energy, because he doesn't have that Varia suit. And Scotty, cognizant of his ammo, I guess he wants to get a little bit more. Now he does have his beam combination is not great. This is going to be a 180 shot fight, give or take one because of the 34 versus 33%. But so he's gonna want. It looks like he wants to have as much ammo as he can have for this fight, which I don't blame him. I mean, that's a lot of shots he's gonna have to take. It's not quite low percent ice, but pretty darn close. But he does have 9 E-tanks, so low percent ice he'd have 3. So there's definitely a difference there. But he's going to have to still keep in mind that 6 E-tanks that he's going to need to get through it. Yeah, Crossfrog's still just having a really rough time of it.
Yeah, thankfully, like we said, he's got one 90 score and then a race still to go, so he could choose to do another race after this.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I think he just wants to get some sort of finish time or just do his best to finish, maybe because he's on restream, which we appreciate. He knows he's got another shot at this, so, might as well just do your best.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the question in chat crosses nowhere to farm. He really doesn't. Once you get past Wasteland, there's no good place to get those super missiles. There just isn't.
Yeah, you're not going to pick up supers. What you would have to do here if you're Cross is farm the fire fleas enough to get full on power bombs, and then they'll give you big health drops and just get enough health to make it out. It's not good.
Okay, and we see Cassidy Moen in the escape. Scotty getting a nice baby skip there.
Yeah, shout out to the Mama Turtle check. I feel like Scotty was a Totori in one of the Discords at some point, so I feel like it's almost apropos.
Yeah, it kind of is. I mean, those of you that know Scotty, he's been Scotty McBody, he's been Scotty Lee, he's been Totori. I think he was using Aegis recently. I mean, he just keeps changing his name. I don't know what it is.
Nice quick drops from Cross. Oh yeah, that's just not quite gonna do it.
And Cassidy in his final Shine Spark. And with that, we'll announce it. Crossprog did finally give in. He is going to forfeit this one. GG's to Cross Product, but now we'll keep an eye on Cassidy here, finishing up. We'll just finish up in
yeah, GG's to Cross Product. Definitely an entertaining and valiant attempt. Unfortunately, didn't work out, but fortunately, there's another qualifier. Hopefully, he'll be able to do one of the 2 tomorrow. There are 2 more qualifiers before everything's going to be set for this tournament. Cassidy Moen has made it to the ship and escaped the planet. So GG's to Cassidy Moen. Nice run.
Yep, he's finished in 8th place with Fisher SRL time of 1:01:59. In between, let's see, get this list. So MM2 Nest Cartridge finishing in 5th place with 59:41. Tillamorth in 6th place with 1 hour 54 seconds. And Glove finishing in 7th place with 1:01:31. And finishing shortly after Cassidy was Nesarius with a 1:02:05. And Sky doing a nice job so far with this Mother Brain fight. He does need to, like I said, needs to keep his energy up above 6 tanks because he does not have that Varia suit.
Yeah, so far so good. He's doing a good job of just not taking extra damage, just getting those shots in. And you see he's saving those 15 super missiles, because once Mother Brain starts firing that ketchup beam, that will indicate that 15 more super missiles will kill her. So he's just waiting for that to happen.
Yeah, and I see Cross Product in Twitch chat there. If you decide you want to, oh, there he is. He's actually here.
What's up?
Hey, Cross.
Hey, thanks for restreaming me, guys. I hope I did you proud.
Well,
Yeah,
you surely made it entertaining.
Nothing if not entertaining. So, what was the call there about making the Lower Norfair play?
All right, look at it this way. So, if you run RBO, and I quote run RBO, you're used to having going 0 suits in the Lower Norfair, like maybe 10, 11 E-tanks if you get everything you can, right?
Sure.
If I've got 9 E-tanks and gravity suit, that's basically like doing an RBO run with 18 E-tanks, right?
But then ammo and
Wrong. I didn't have screw attack or enough super missiles. I mean, I was really just banking on like a super missile pack in Power Bombs of Shame. I didn't even check. Like, it was super missile packs were really tight in this seed.
Yeah, the ammo was not great.
Yeah, it was a little rough.
Oh no.
And farming missiles off of green flies is basically like farming power bombs off of any other enemy in the game. It was bad. I'm glad I at least got to finish off Ridley. But yeah, it was. I figured I'm planning on joining tomorrow morning, so I can go for like a really good score today. I probably should have done Meridia first, at least try to find an extra E-tank or two. Like, I would have gotten Wave Beam. What was behind Dragon?
Screw attack. Varia was at the Wreck Ship Reserve. And unfortunately, with that death, Scotty also is gonna. He looks like he lost track.
This
as
is
common
just...
as oops, no Varia.
There's no, that's the his name starts with an L and rhymes with Shmiodox. He's famous for dying without Varia there.
Scotty's not the first person, and he's certainly not going to be the last person to do that. You know, it happens.
There were a ton of forfeits tonight. I don't feel bad. I mean, I gave it my all until I gave it like 110%. I kept trying to finish, and I was just like, well, you know what? If 10 people have already finished, then I'm bound to get a better score tomorrow morning, right? So it doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
but it was fun.
Better score tomorrow.
You got one more shot at it.
But yeah, these races have been really volatile. It's been very interesting to see the results. It just, I really think I'm really happy with what we came up with the setup on this one. And it looks like Scotty's going to join us as well.
Yeah, I like the scoring system in this a lot. I really do. Like, the bigger the race is, the higher the more people factor into the quote average, right, or the top average. So I figured, like, if I can still finish close to top 4, it might be okay to keep at this. But after like 10 people finish, it's like, you know what, we'll come back tomorrow. Hopefully I can wake up in time.
And we do have Scotty joining us. Another rough one for you too. We got our various skippers with us in the. I
feel bad about skipping Varia. I feel bad about not having 30 super missiles.
Yeah, Scotty at least had 30 super missiles. But GG, Scotty.
GG, man.
Okay, I see him lighting up, but I don't hear him.
Don't hear you. I think maybe there's something mic wrong, unfortunately.
Hopefully he can get that straightened out.
Yeah. But either way, GG's to all of our runners and GG to Scotty. That's a tough situation.
Oh, there, I heard something.
Yeah, I hear you now.
All right, so your decision to go and do the Lower Norfair. We were just talking to Cross Product because he made the same decision.
Yeah, I feel pretty comfortable with Gravity Suit in Lower Norfair, so just went for it.
Yeah, you had an extra super missile pack, so it made it a little bit better. But still, getting out, killing Ridley, getting out, that ice beam did not help. You always want an E-tank there. It's like the one time you want an E-tank there, right?
Yeah, very sad about the reserve tank too.
Yeah, the one in Fire Police. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel a little more interested in asking about your early game route where you chose to skip the wave gate item the first time through.
I've never done meme route except for like today and yesterday, and I was
Okay.
watching Zoast, and he said that he really likes meme route, so I was like, you know what, we'll give it a try. And yeah, I was not prepared for running out of power bombs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then I thought maybe you were going to get your speed booster and then turn around and go do Waterway and get the wave gate then, but then you chose to go down Red Tower instead of across to Wrecked Ship, and I guess I was just curious about both of those decisions.
I had to check the 2 items I missed in Brinstar. Like, it was bugging me pretty bad. Also, if anyone's wondering about my movement, I injured my thumb last week, and I am using my fingers.
Oh, ouch.
And I also do not have access to using R, which is why a lot of my strats look really weird.
You're running on a DDR pad?
Yeah, basically.
Pretty much.
That sounds horrible.
You're like maniacal. Get it on this.
So yeah, I've been trying to adjust to that this whole week, but it's okay.
We'll get used to not being able to aim down. I know how that feels.
Yeah, I noticed that you, especially in your Mother Brain fight, you were doing a lot of jumping and supering horizontally, and I thought this is unusual.
Yeah, now I understand. I noticed that too.
That's unfortunate, and I'm sorry that happened. But you still played quite well.
Thanks. Yeah, I've been practicing still with the injured thumb, but it's so weird.
So I think you've got a couple more. This is your second qualifier?
No, this is my first one.
This is your first one. So you got 2 more. You got just play the next 2. You'll be fine.
Yeah. Are you going to run both of them tomorrow?
Yes, absolutely.
Excellent.
Awesome. That's great to hear.
Yeah, I'll just try to finish those 2.
Yeah.
Nothing fancy.
Yeah, it's not a bad choice.
Yeah, I'm gonna likely play it a little safer tomorrow morning.
Yeah, Cross, in your situation, I was expecting you to turn left when you went to farm the Zebs outside of Bubble Mountain. Or I guess they're Gamuts there. Sorry, the Gamuts outside Bubble Mountain.
Yeah, nobody went to Croc.
Go to Crocomire for those 2 majors for Lower Norfair and the extra ammo. But it didn't happen. And I wasn't sure. Did you entertain that at all?
I did. I thought maybe I should go to Croc. I can at least check what 3 minor items. But man, I'm just like, what are the odds I'm not going to find, like, I'm 25-25, right? I'm like, what are the odds I'm not going to find missiles at Peeps of Shame or anywhere?
Well, you blew by Mickey Mouse. So you didn't even check Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, I should have checked. Whatever. I think, like, once you do grab Lower Norfair, you feel like it's not too bad, but then you realize, oh, I had like Screw Attack and Plasma and Charge Beam. Like, it's a lot.
Yeah, it does make a difference, you know.
Dash is bait.
It is bait. Like it is not. You know, those Lower Norfair Hell runs. I mean, those are not free. It's not like they are in a normal seed, of course, because
honestly,
you don't have that, but they're not free.
Screw Attack is such a wonderful item to have in Lower Norfair in any situation.
Really, I totally agree. Like,
I mean, the RBO run goes out of the way to get Screw Attack, right? Like, there's a reason for that.
Well, I think they also get that super missile as a big
I
big
don't
part of that, but yeah.
I don't fight.
But you know, I
did a stupid route.
But yeah, I mean, that Screw Attack just does make the Lower Norfair play a lot cozier, and yeah.
I mean, whatever. Hopefully, I put on a show at least.
You definitely put on a show.
Absolutely.
And we enjoyed it.
I'm more upset about that Dragon death because I had the damage boost off of the electrical socket and just like stopped short. And I was like, oh, that was stupid.
Yeah, I didn't quite see what happened because I looked over, you were in the Dragon fight, and I just all of a sudden you were dead, and I'm like, what?
I should have just, like, I went in with about 200 health, and you know, like my plan was to Shine Spark a couple times, get them low, and then use ammo and charge shots for the rest. But like, I missed the first. I don't know. I was already pretty tilted. It didn't really matter.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty easy to end up in that sort of a mind space, and it can be tough to persist, especially like once you bail in Lower Norfair, then get to Dragon and have that happen. Like,
yeah, and then the save is still in Lower Norfair. That was really rough.
And I'm not gonna like save before Dragon. I'm like, well, in case I die to Dragon, maybe I might be able to salvage this one, guys.
Yeah,
who
right. At
saves
some
before
point, you
Dragon?
stop hedging.
I mean, to be fair, if you have no, gravity-less Dragon, then you save before Dragon. But in general, who saves before Dragon?
Yeah, I guess if gravityless, it depends. If I were going for like a Dragon blue suit strat, I'd probably save before Dragon every time. But like if I have Spring Ball, Grapple Beam, and I'm relying on those to get out of Dragon, I'm pretty comfortable with the grapple jump. I don't really
Yeah,
care.
that's fair.
Oh well. Thanks for watching, everybody. Follow Tracy and Maniacal.
You can
They
follow
play this game
Crossrunner.
far better than I do.
No, I don't. There's a reason why I'm talking and not
Maybe
playing.
not on average, but if you watch me tonight, you definitely see some better things out of Tracy and Maniacal.
I won't speak for Maniacal, but I know you're definitely a better player than me. So
I'm not going to enter into this one. I'm not even able to play in these anymore. So
yeah, it's. I mean, the tournament scene and qualifier, SpeedGaming Live, like it just feels different than just sitting down and doing a seed or like an SRL pickup race. Like it's different, you know, and
I
you don't
agree.
really know that until you actually do it.
Yeah, I agree.
I
It's
love
definitely
it.
not. Yeah, I definitely the volatility of these races over the last 4 races just
Yeah,
struck me.
even
I did
like
not expect that.
I guess there's no reason to bring this up really, but Andrew runs a relay race once a year, and
Yep.
I joined that one time, and like I had been in tournaments for 3 or 4 years, and joining a relay race was just completely different feeling from even doing tournaments. Like I was like,
Sure.
oh no, my whole team is depending on me, and I'm doing low ice Mother Brain, and I've only practiced for 1 day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a thing
That's scary.
that's a situation in which you can find yourself all of a sudden.
We won, by the way. I didn't drag my team down enough to lose.
Wow, that's good.
I don't know why Andrew picked me to do low ice, but whatever.
All right.
But probably because I was one of the 4 people willing to do it.
Yeah.
Yep,
I mean,
that's how that happens.
that's one of the things I love about you, Cross. You're usually willing to do just about anything, and even if it's something crazy and off the wall that
it pays off in randomizer occasionally, but it wasn't enough for tonight, unfortunately. But whatever, there's tomorrow morning.
Yep,
Yeah,
that's
just
right.
Put a good one down tomorrow, and all is forgiven. Basically.
Yep, absolutely. All right. So I guess that's pretty much it for us. Before we go, Scotty, Crossbrog, anything else you want to add before we close this out?
Thanks for commentating, guys.
Oh, it was a privilege and a joy and a lot of fun.
It really was. I haven't done an SM only in a while for Randomizer. It's kind of my roots, so I'm glad to get back to it. And yeah, so that'll be pretty much it. If you haven't already followed these runners, please do so. Also, my co-commentator Maniacal and our tracker Cheaty Face. Cook's pushing those buttons behind, so I can't say enough about our trackers in general. And congratulations to Sloters and Becky with that nice 1-2 finish. We'll be back at 11 a.m. Eastern time tomorrow with the next qualifier, and then the last one will be at 5 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow. So I hope you all tune in then, and I'll let you close this out, Maniacal.
Yeah, thank you, Tracy. Really laid it out nicely, so I don't have too much more to say. Good luck to everyone competing in the last 2 qualifiers, and I look forward to seeing who is going to make it through into the tournament bracket for this SpeedGaming Live Super Metroid Randomizer tournament. Thank y'all, and we'll see you next mission.